A week away from Election Day, Republicans are on the verge of doing something in New York that hasn't been done in 20 years, flipping Albany red.
For more on this, let's welcome in New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Lee Zeldin was down by double digits in August. He's essentially tied with New York Governor Kathy Hochul today. Do you think he has a chance to pull this race out?
Oh, absolutely. I see a huge shift going on. People are finally starting to kind of wake up to what's going on in the elections. There's been so much noise. And I think the biggest indicator that we have is that the Democrats are starting to pour money into these races. I mean, how desperate is Kathy Hochul that she's going to roll out Hillary Clinton,
right?
Who's already we know Hillary Clinton was beaten by Donald Trump. So now you got Hillary Clinton coming out. That's how desperate they are. They're dumping money into races all across the state, including this really hotly contested race in the 25th district, featuring LaRon Singletary, who is the former police chief of the city of Rochester, which is besieged by crime. They just dropped another $250,000 into that race, so you know that they're nervous. And so we're seeing a potential truly red wave, truly maybe a tsunami in New York State, where we're down to 26 seats, but we could actually, as Republicans, take up to 12 seats, possibly, if the turnout is what we hope it will be.
Yeah, good point. You took the next question right out of my mouth, Congresswoman. So Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin, they've both campaigned for Zeldin over the last few days in New York. So two things here. Does this really help Zeldin in deep blue New York? But also, what does it say about the strength of the GOP bench compared to who the Democrats are marching out on the campaign trail right now? Barack Obama, and to your point, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, look, our bench is really strong. Ron DeSantis is a rock star, and Glenn Youngkin is too. He's going around the country. I think it was very strategic the way that Lee Zeldin rolled them out. But all of these people are very helpful, and they're being vilified by the Democrats, of course. But look, I think this really does help, because the big issue is we're seeing great polling, but it's going to come down to turnout. Who is going to get their voters out? And the Republicans are surging right now, so you're seeing a lot of interest, a lot of Republicans across the state. If you drive anywhere in upstate New York, there are Zeldin signs everywhere. Very rarely do you see a Hochul sign anywhere in upstate New York. And we're even hearing that that's the case in some of the blue areas, like even Albany and other cities. So this is all about turnout and getting voters out. And it's really critical, because we need to save our state. We are in free fall under Kathy Hochul and one-party rule in Albany. And I just can't implore people enough to get out and vote, especially Republicans, moderate Democrats, independents, people who know literally that the fate of New York State is in their hands.
Yeah, you're so right. Going out to vote is so important. Already over 7 million people have already voted or early voting. Joe Biden, he's not really hitting the campaign trail in these big, important states. Barack Obama is. What do you think this says about the Joe Biden administration?
Well, look, there hasn't been a president with lower approval ratings at this point in their office than Truman. That takes us back to 1946. Even President Trump had higher ratings at this point in his term. So, look, Joe Biden is a liability for the Democrats. They know it. Every day there's one more kind of gross video that comes out with him groping some young child or a woman or somebody, and he's more gaffes. I mean, there's 54 states. Remember, Obama said we had 57, but now Biden's got us down to 54.
Yeah, we're back to 54.
I mean, look, this is disaster. I'll tell you something that I see that's a real indicator, and it's an election integrity issue. The difference between what happened in 2020 during the pandemic election, and I recognize this is the difference between a presidential year and an off-presidential cycle.
Yeah.
But when I look at the absentee ballots requested in my district now versus what happened last in 2020, we had 60,000 absentees requested at this point. Still more time to come that were coming out. We had 40,000 were Democrats. That's the difference. We now have 16,000 requested, and only 7,000 are Democrats. That's the pandemic election, the online database that Governor Cuomo put out, where there was no verification. We now have better election integrity happening. We're vigilant. We've got surrogates out there to make sure that there's no irregularities at the polls. People are wary of this. But the most important thing they can do is not vote. And, Republicans, as they say, who don't vote, elect Democrats. So I say the election integrity is there. Just make sure you vote, and make sure that you are aware of what's happening at the polls.
So, Congresswoman, great point about Harry Truman, 1946. I would caution, though, Republicans, if they do take the House and maybe even the Senate, Harry Truman won. He beat Tom Dewey in 1948, and that shocked the country when he did that. So there is work still to be done as we get ready for 2024, which will happen next Wednesday. So 1 week from tomorrow, we'll start talking about that. Congresswoman, great to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to see you guys.